Good morning, hello to everybody. I'm just going to head into the settings and add in our Facebook viewers if I can. So just bear with me one moment. So I should be able to click on this magic button and we should be good to go. Let's see. Sorry, we've got to do it this way. It's the only way we can get it to work. So I hope you're well. I hope you've all had a very lovely week. It is Friday again. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make some jewellery, which is multi-wear, which is really lovely. So what I mean by that is it will be one long necklace, but you can make it into a shorter necklace and you can also wear it as a bracelet, so you can change it up. And the way we've managed to achieve that is by using a wonderful magnetic clasp. So I will show you how it looks. So you can wear it as one long length like this, and then it just easily detaches using that magnetic clasp. You get a shorter length necklace and you can have this magnetic clasp as a feature. I've chose the slightly larger ones because it's lovely. And the other bit just clips off as a little bracelet. So I think if you are traveling, you know, some of you might be going on a lovely holiday. You might want to be able to take a little bit less with you in terms of packing light. And then you've got this lovely kind of option to kind of change it up as you go. Mina's asking, where's our little helper today with the dinosaur? If you watch me on Monday, you'll have noticed I had my son with me. He is back in school today. There was a chance he may have been here because there was a flood at school. One of the pipes burst. They had to switch the water off. And he was also therefore off on, it would have been Wednesday. So he's barely been in school this week. They were off for their kind of half term anyway on Monday. And then I had him again on Wednesday. So he's my child, it's my job. I'm more than happy to spend time with him, but it does mean that I've fallen a little bit behind with the amount of work that I wanted to do. Well, thank you so much for being patient with me and him on Monday. He absolutely loved it. He keeps asking when you going live again, when can I come on? When can I come on? So I'm sure over the summer you'll probably see him plenty. It was just as well I was making a quite straightforward make with you then. So I'm going to say a very quick hello to you all before I take you over to the website. Good morning to Phoenix Creations. Hello to Rachel in a breezy Barrow. Yeah, the weather's been like a whole mixed bag here. I'm in the northwest of England. I'm kind of Merseyside, so we've had wind. It's been quite cold. We've had rain and then we've had sunshine as well. Good morning to Frances. She's in a wet and rainy Perth. Good morning to Mina. Good morning to Jan in sunny Sudbury. Hello to Trish. Joanne says it's gorgeous and sunny in Coventry. Kim's in as well. Hello to you. Good morning to Elaine. Good morning to Helen. Hello to Lisa and Sue and Judith. She says we've had rain in West Lothian. Who else is in? Good morning to Elizabeth. She says, good morning. Couldn't find you on Facebook. We should be on Facebook now. It might not give you the notification because I have to go live and then add it to that. It's a bit of a hoo-ha. Good morning to Robin. She says, good morning, Lady Natalie. Good morning to all. Wishing everybody the best weekend. Enjoy and be safe. Sharon is saying good morning to all our creative beadeniers and hello to Carol. So these are your necklaces today. Oh, thank you so much, Joanne. You can see you can wear them like this or like this. I've put this neckline on today just so it could stand out and show a little bit easier. And then you've got that, which is a bracelet. It's really straightforward to do. It's literally the magnetic clasp, which has got that availability and giving you that kind of option to change it up as you want. And you can see you can change that up in minutes. So I'm going to take you over to the website and then I'll show you the colours down on the mat or even on the bust so you can see what we've got and how they look. So head over to totallyleads.co.uk if you would like to, thanks Phoenix, says it looks stunning. If you want to get your kit, everything you need to make this, you can just head over to totallybeads.co.uk and scroll into the video tutorial categories. There's lots of different options to get in there, and you can have a little look at today's, which is the Multiwear jewellery set. So in terms of the colours that you can choose from, there's 4 lovely colours. They're all on different coloured findings. We've got the jet black on the jet plate findings being your jump rings, your callotes, your crimp beads, and those magnetic clasps. We've got the rosewood, which is the lovely kind of pink colourway, and that is on your gold, gold colourways. I think it's gold or champagne. I'll double check for you. We've got the sea glass, which is like a lovely soft kind of light blues. They're on the silver. That's what I'm going to demo for you today. And we've also got the silver, which I think is on the rhodium. I'll have to check those for you. They're all £9.99. It makes one longer necklace, a shorter necklace, and the bracelet combined. So it is a multi-wear. So they're all £9.99. You can also get any 2 for 10% off. If you want to mix up your colours, you most definitely can do that. It's really easy to adjust the length to suit you to whatever you want. And as well as having the pearls in there, we've got 2 sizes of pearls. We've also got some lovely crystals. So if I head in, you can have a little look. This is how the necklace looks when it's worn all together. You're getting your glass pearl rounds of 6 and 8mm. You're getting your crystal rondelles to add that extra sparkle, which is 4x6. You're getting your ball pins, so your head pins, which is what we're going to make these lovely little loops, and that's what I'm going to show you how to create first. I've got a frozen screen. We've got your jump rings, your magnetic clasps, your crimp beads, your callotes, and your tiger tail. So every single thing you need, apart from your tools. And in terms of tools, I'm going to suggest a 6-step looper if you've got one. If you haven't, round nose pliers will do just as well. You're going to need some cutters, and you're going to need some chain nose, really, just to open up those jump rings. Really straightforward in terms of your materials. So that's how the jet black looks when it's on the bust and it's worn both together. If you want to separate them, you've got your necklace and your bracelet separately there. So a really nice different make. I've been meaning to do this with you for quite a little while now, just wondering what kind of beads and bits and bobs to pop in there. Don't forget, we do ship worldwide, so if you want to change your currency, you can do, and we should get that out to you pretty quickly. You just click on the currency there. So this is your rosewood. And these are your findings. So again, this is how it looks on the bust if it's worn as one, and then if it's separate. If you wanted to know exactly what colour pearls and findings and everything we're using, just scroll on down there. You can see we've got the rosewood in the 8 and the 6, so your pearls will be the same colour, just different sizes. We're using the gold plated findings on this. So there's your headpin balls, which are 50mm. Your magnetic clasp, I've gone for quite a larger one. I've gone for a 12mm instead of the 8 because I think they're really, really pretty. You've got that kind of spotted detail on there, so they make a nice feature if you wanted to wear your necklace, as I've put it there, as a bit of like a pendant focal point. And for the crystal rondelles 4x6, using the brown AB, because although they are brown, they've got that AB tone to them, so to me they look more pink, especially when you pair them with the rosewood. But I will show you them down on the mat, and you can see how those colours look together, but you can see them in there as well. So that one is your rosewood for £9.99. This is your sea glass one. Really, really lovely. Worn separately will look like this. So you can see all the details there. Everything you need to make this project is in your kit. And you can see we're using the sea glass 6 and 8 and the electric green crystal rondelles, which are 4x6mm. We're using the silver plated findings for this. So you'll get 2 magnetic clasps and that way you can kind of change it up depending on the style that you're after and the length that you want. And then we've also got the silver dust. This one's really pretty. I think this is lovely wedding jewellery, to be honest. If you wanted to, you don't, I think they're all lovely wedding jewellery. You don't have to be wearing it as the bride. You could be the mother of the bride. You could be a guest. It could be something for the bridesmaids. And then if you're changing kind of, outfits or necklines or whatever, then this is a good option for you. In that we've got the silver dust in the rondelles and the pearls, and we're using the rhodium plated findings on that. But again, we've got that offer on, so if you think I'd really like to add some of these into, say, the seafoam colour and use the seafoam colourway silver findings instead, we've got 10% off if you get 2 kits. Of course, you can multi-buy, you would get all 4 of them. You could do whatever you want if you wanted to mix these up, but I'm hoping there's a little bit of something for everybody there. So I will stop sharing the screen and I'm going to have a little look if I've missed anything. So Phoenix says it's stunning. Everybody says they really enjoyed Frank being on the live. Might get him doing them permanently. I think it might be a bit more entertaining. Jewellery for dinosaurs. Esther says good morning to everybody. Lisa says they're so pretty. Thank you very much. Frances says they're beautiful. And no, I haven't seen those. I don't think, Phoenix. She's talking about some domed pins. Okay, so I'm going to take you down very quickly on the mat. I am using the browser, I'm afraid, today. That does have a habit of booting me off. I've tried numerous times to go back into the one that I want to use. And the sound, it won't, whatever settings I do when I'm in there, it won't switch the mic off fully off my camera, and it's causing the worst feedback sound. So rather than hurt your ears, I'm doing it this way, so it will cut me off, I'm sure. Joanne says, the sea glass is very nice, very fresh and summery. So is the black. The rosewood's very pretty, and I do like the mix of pinks. I know a few people getting married that the silver would look great on. Ooh, decisions. Well, not to pressure you at all, Joanne. You can get the kits if you wish, but we do have that multi-buy offer on if you want to. And there is a slight delay on my hands by the looks of it. And Anne says, yay, she's found me. Mina's encouraging Joanne to get them all. So this is your sea glass. And you can see I'm using these gorgeous sparkly crystals. Come on, camera, get with the program. There you go. So if they've got that AB finish on them, it stands for Aurora Borealis, like your northern lights. That just means it's got that lovely kind of petrol finish, kind of twinkle on it, all the different colours. They're really, really gorgeous. And I'm pairing them with the sea glass in 2 sizes. So you've got 2 sizes of your pearls there, but the same colour. And of course, a wonderful magnetic clasp. And do check if you've got, somebody who wears a pacemaker. I don't think you can wear magnets, but they are really great if you've got dexterity issues. And it means because we've got that larger clasp, you can have it as the focal, or you can change it up, add that as your kind of focal central piece, or separate them really easily and have that as your bracelet. The only difference, they're going to have exactly the same colours in, so it's going to be a lovely matching set when you are wearing them separate. But I'm going to show you a technique I'd done a long time ago in terms of turning those pins to kind of give that kind of full bubbly kind of look. So that one is your sea foam. I'll just pop that to the side. We've also got the jet. So beautiful dark colours on the black plate. Again, struggling to fit it all in the camera. If you're someone who wears monochrome, then you might like this. I think this would look lovely with my outfit today. And you've got those sparkly crystals in between there as well, just to add a little bit more of a shimmer. And I think it just adds a little bit of extra texture as well, because obviously your rondelles are kind of faceted. And I think with the 2 sizes of the rounds, they go particularly nice together. So that's how those ones look. Pop them on the bust. Then we've got this lovely silver dust, really, really pretty. And we've got the rosewood as well. Now the crystals are said to be brown, but if I can hold it up and give it a little spin, can you see all the pinks and the purples and the shimmers on them? I think they look particularly nice with the rosewood, especially with these gold findings. So a quite straightforward make today. It does involve a little bit of stringing and just turning pins, which I think can be quite a nice therapeutic thing to do. I'm not doing wrap loops. You could do wrap loops with them if you wanted to. That's entirely up to you as well. I'm going to start off by showing you how to do this technique with them now. So in order to do this, I'm just going to make a mix. I'm going to use the crystals and 2 sizes of the pearls, and you're going to have enough to make to use the pearls and the crystals in the body of the necklace, as in the part that runs around the back of your neck, and you can do whatever design that you want with that. I've literally just I've gone for a pearl and then a crystal, and then I've done a large pearl, crystal, small pearl, crystal, large pearl. So I'm just alternating, but I'm doing 2 large pearls and then adding the smaller one. But you can do any pattern you want with this. You will get plenty in there. When it comes to how I'm attaching these, I'm not putting them in an order. I'm not putting the pearls or the crystals on in any order, but I am putting them in little clusters. So I'm starting off by adding a crystal and a pearl, and then I'm putting 5 of my little charms on, and then another smaller 6mm pearl, and then I'm putting another 5 of my loop bead charms on, and then popping on that 6mm pearl. Then I'm going to add 10 of the charms on and the pearl, another 5 pearl, 10 pearl, 5 pearl, 5. So I am putting them on in a number order, but that doesn't matter. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. I just think it gives it a nice full look, more in the middle by doing it that way. But you can put these on in any order that you want to. So in order to make my my little looped charms, I'm going to get my ball pins out. Where have you gone? I had them all ready before. I tidied them up in a bag. Probably because I'm that organised. It's been one of those mornings this morning. Frank helped get himself dressed, and that was all going well. I got the shower, and then by the time we left the school, it was only halfway up the road, I realised he was wearing the wrong coloured trainers because he's got PE today, so we've had to run all the way back. I'm so sorry for rustling in those bags. I'll find them in a minute. They'll be under, like, they'll probably be sitting in front of me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my strands because I am going to do a mix. What I like to do is I think I like to add a few more crystals onto the bracelet section, and more of the larger pearls. Of course, I'm adding the 6mm pearls on as well. I'm putting them all on, but I think just adding the crystals is just going to give it a little bit more of a twinkle. So I'm just cutting them open. Now, if you've got bail step pliers, I would suggest you use them. I'm going to use the smallest loop with these. Now, a 6-step bail plier looks like this. So you'll see they've got 3 different sizes to create the loops on. I'm going to use the smallest one on this. The reason why I think these are good is because if I just show you quickly the difference, you'll see that full size there is the same. It's not tapered, it's the same size all the way across. Whereas when you're using your round nose pliers, they do taper down. So obviously the smaller you want your loop, the closer you go to the end. The wider you want your loop, the closer you go into the handle. The way I'm going to make these pins is I'm going to be turning it, and preferably I'd like it the same thickness all the way. So I find it easier to do this technique with the bail step pliers, but it's not, impossible to do with the round nose if you've got them as well. So I'm going to take some of my pins out. And don't worry if you get your ball pins out your pack and they've got bends and stuff in them. I know I've got all sorts on my desk there, so I'm gonna move them up. I've made a few in advance, so I apologise, my desk's messy. What I'm gonna do is just run it out with my finger, and you'll see I've just created that into a straight pin really quite easily, because they're lovely and soft to use. Some will already be straight. So I'm using the ball pin because it's got that lovely little ball tip at the end, and I think it makes a really nice feature on your bracelet. You can use head pins with this if you wanted, which has got the flat tip finish, but I prefer the ball pins. So that's what I've put in your kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a couple of my pins, and I'm going to take some of my crystals and my 2 sizes of pearls, and I'm just going to slide whatever one I'm using on, and it's going to fall towards the bottom here. I'm then going to take my bail step plier, and I'm going to hold it fairly up close on the smallest one, so between the 2 small ones. Good morning, Pauline. Hello, Anna. I hope you're well. And all I'm going to do is just give it a little turn. I'm going the other way, I don't know why. I prefer to turn it towards me. So I'm pinching the pin so it's still flush, just like it would be if we were using our round nose pliers to turn a loop. And I'm just going to turn it all the way round. And I'm going to keep turning it. Now you'll see the inside of the pin is now towards that little part there. And that's going to help it just push down together. Because I'm doing it slowly, it's probably not as neat as it could be. I find the quicker I go, the easier it is. But you'll see I'm starting to make that coil, and I'm just going all the way round. So I'm creating that little bit of length essentially there on that kind of, it's like a little coiled spring. Because I started off slow, it's sticking out a little bit there. If you really want to, you could just trim off the tiniest part of your first part of your loop. But I'm not cutting it off, and I don't really care whether the pin is fully up. Usually when we are turning a pin, we will twist it so it's fully upright like a lollipop. These will probably have that curve to it, so it's more of a P shape, and that's absolutely fine. That's what I'm going for, so it's really straightforward. So I'm just popping my crystal onto my pin. I'm holding it. You can do it whichever way you want. All I'm doing is when I get round, I'm kind of pushing down with my pliers, and that's squeezing the first part of the pin in. And I'm just giving little rotations of the wrist that's holding the pliers, and that's making that little coil. Can you see what I mean there? Is it's more of a P shape than an I, so it's not sitting directly on top, it's just sitting off to the side. And that's gonna fill up the bracelet really, because instead of just having the size of the pearl or the crystal, it's going to be this part that we're going to be stringing onto our tiger tail, or whatever beading thread you're using in your kit. It'll be tiger tail. So whichever way you go, it doesn't really matter. I've started going this way now because I'm thinking about it, but this just becomes quite repetitive. But you can see it takes me seconds to fully do one. I think it's probably taking me a lot less time than if I was turning a pin normally, or if I was wrapping loops, definitely. Now, if it goes this way and the pin, you can see there it's coming over the other side rather than underneath. So it's on this side rather than here. That doesn't matter. All I'm doing is I'm still going to catch it, and I'm just going to move it down slightly as I go. So I want to keep that coil nice and tight. Again, because I stopped, it's slightly moved out of position. So just popping on my beads or my pearls or my crystals, giving it a little rotation. I find it easier if it starts on the inside because I can keep it next to there, and then I just kind of, when I'm rotating it, I put a little bit of pressure on and that catches there, so it keeps it tight around excuse me, the plier, and I'm just kind of guiding it with my finger and my thumb, but it's all about the rotation in the wrist. Leslie says I need to get those pliers. I don't tend to use them for actual bail making very often. I can sometimes. I tend to shape a bail when I'm wire working with my finger. But they're really handy. There's lots of different things. In fact, I'm making kind of flowers, and I find them really useful for trying to shape my petal and things at the moment with the wire. So I really prefer to use the bail step pliers, but it isn't essential, but you can see it's all the same thickness there. I'll do one with the round nose pliers so you can see it does still work. So you decide where about you want your loop. What I would suggest is you mark a part of your plier where you want the size of the loop, because each time you do them, you do want them to be similar. You can hold it right up to the edge still. I tend to prefer to do it a little bit smaller though. And I'm just keeping an eye on where it's going. So it's traveling down a little bit, but you can see there with the pliers, it's still able to create that same effect. I'll do it with the round nose one more time, just so you can see. Good morning, Leslie. She's in a foggy upstate New York. Oh, I've got friends who are visiting New York in January. It's just been her 40th birthday, and her friend got a trip as a gift, which is very generous and very exciting. I'm not going, but you can see there that because I've moved it down my pliers, that loop's a little bit larger, so you will find that, you know, they might vary in size if you don't mark it. So if you've got the bail step pliers, use your bail step pliers and use the smaller one if you've got them. Okay, so to make my bracelet, you can keep your tiger tail on your reel if you like, or you can cut it off, it doesn't matter. I'm going to start with the bracelet, and I'm going to cut about 20 centimetres, which is 8 inches. Let me check that's correct. 20 centimetres, 8 inches, yeah. And if you want to make this smaller, you absolutely can do. You would just put less beads on. If you wanted it longer, you could do. You just put less beads on. All that will do is when you're wearing it together, it will change the position of where the larger necklace, when they're combined, kind of sits and looks. So take that into consideration. I would suggest you go on the bracelet size that you want, make the bracelet size, and then you can adapt the length of the necklace. So let me just kind of clarify if that makes sense, if I just pull you up a little bit. So for example, I want to make the bracelet to fit the wrist size because that's going to be always a bracelet. If I want my necklace to sit higher, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this section of my necklace to be the length that I would want it to be to fit around my neck. And then the extra length you're adding is going to be the bracelet that you add on. So it may sit slightly longer. So if you've got a longer bracelet, I would make this slightly shorter if you wanted this to be a specific length. But you need to make sure, of course, if you're making it shorter, that it still fits comfortably around the neck. You could have it sitting higher, more of a choker, or longer. It's entirely up to you how you want to do that. So just adjust the sizes for what you like. So for this, I'm going to do an 8-inch bracelet. So it will be a little bit big for me, but, well, it'll probably be a little bit smaller than 8 inches because it'll be about an 8-inch bracelet. Don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so to start off, I'm going to add on my calotte. We spoke a lot about the reason why I love calottes on Monday. I just think they are super easy to use. They give a nice, neat, professional finish. I don't have to worry about adding on like crimp tubes or crimp covers and things like that. It's all done for me. So I'm adding on my calotte at the end. It's going to stick up, so it's going with the eyelets facing the end of my my tiger tail. I know there's stuff all over my desk, so it's struggling to get focus. And there's a delay. Hello, Camille. I hope you're well. Leslie says it's very clever. It's just a nice little make. I'm going to double crimp for that added security. So I'm popping on 2 of my crimp beads, coming in with any pliers. Should probably be your chain nose or your crimping pliers, but I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure down on the end to flatten the first one, and then bring the other one close up next to it. And what I want is my on my necklace and on my bracelet, I want my calottes to face in the same direction, because when I join them together, I'd like the jump rings to kind of face the same way. Either, let me explain it better for you. So if you can see here, I'd want them either to face that way, both together, or that way, both together. So I'm just going to slide the calotte up over the jump ring, close it over with my fingers, and press that down. So lining it up, little bit of pressure just to close that over. So when I'm making my bracelet, I'm going to start off with a smaller bead. You can do it the other way round if you want, but I like to start with the crystal first. Pop that here so you can see. So I'm going to start with the crystal, and then I'm going to pop a pearl on. I'm going to use the small pearl, so the 6mm pearl. And then I'm going to pick up at random, but I'm going to pick up 5. Again, you can change this if you want to. I don't really want to think about the order in which I'm putting them on. I like it being a mix. So that's why I make all my kind of charm beads first, and then I'm just picking it up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm just sliding the tiger tail on through those loops that we've made. And then going to add another small pearl. And then another 5 of my charm beads to bring some in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So they're just sliding on through the middle of the loop. Then I'm going to put another 6mm pearl on. And then I'm going to add 10 charms. Always say I'm going to do it random, but then I'm thinking, oh, well, I haven't put a little one on, so I'll put a little one on. So they're just sitting on like this, and then I'll push them down. It's giving that nice kind of bobbly effect. Another little pearl in between each of my clusters. just to fill the length of my bracelet. Hello Jane, who's watching in Somerset. I hope you're well. Thank you for joining us. If you are just coming in now, I'm making a multi-wear necklace and bracelet, so you can wear it in different ways. After I've put the 10 on, I'm going to go for another 5. Then I'm going to add another pearl directly onto the tiger tail, again to space it out. So I've got 5, 5, 10, 5. I'm going to do another 10. Then another pearl, and then I'm going to finish like I started with 2 little clusters of 5. Six mil pearl, and then finish that off. You can of course make little earrings as well if you want the full suite of jewellery. So just to reiterate, in the order I've put it on, but you don't have to, I've gone for 5 6 mil pearl, 5 charms, 6 mil pearl, 10 charms, 6 mil pearl, 5 charms, 6 mil pearl, 10 charms, 6 mil pearl, 5 pearl, 5. So it's 5, 5, 10, 5, 10, 5, 5. But you can put them on in any order you want. I just quite like that kind of fuller section in the middle. So you'll make a lovely kind of twinkly little sound as well, because you've got those crystals rattling. Then to finish, I'm going to start again, like I did at the start rather, but in the other way. So I'm going to go with the pearl, and then I'm going to go with the crystal. I'm then going to shape my bracelet into that circular shape. So I've got that tension quite nice, and it'll also help me have a little look how I'm putting that calotte on. So I'm adding on my calotte, and then my 2 crimp beads. So I'm putting 1 crimp bead on first, letting it drop right inside of the calotte, and then I'm coming in with my pliers, and I'm going to give that a squish down to hold that tiger tail into place. Then I'm adding on the next crimp bead, and I can lift that up now because it should be held in place. Again, flattening that down, and then I'm going to trim off the excess tiger tail. You can run it back through if you want to, but I'd only run it back through the pearls that are directly on the tiger tail. I wouldn't run it back through the charms because it might then stick out. I'm going to fold it over with my fingers first, that calotte, and when it looks like it's fairly lined up, I'm then going to add a little bit of pressure to close that over fully, so my crimp beads are inside the little kind of domed part. And then I'm going to take 2 of my jump rings. Oh, thanks Jane. She says, I'll rerun later. I do like the quality of your pearls and findings. I'm just using glass pearls because they come in a whole host of beautiful colours and sizes, and they are very affordable too. I'm going to take my jump rings, which I also love our jump rings because they're just lovely quality, really strong, really sturdy, and really easy to use. So I'm going to take a lot of the surface area of that jump ring, and I'm just opening it slightly by a couple of millimeters so I can slide on the calotte, which goes directly onto it really easily. And then I'm just going to add on my magnetic clasp. So I'm using the slightly larger, I think it was 12mm, the magnetic clasp. And then all I would suggest is that you make sure your magnetic clasps are the same and the same size, and then you'll be able to wear them as one, and it will look like you know, a lovely feature bead when you join that onto your necklace. And there you go. I'm just going to do exactly the same on the other. Make sure those jump rings are fully closed up. They're slightly staggered, so I'm going to take it slightly past the point where it meets, and then it will spring back beautifully closed. So there is the bracelet. Really easy to put on, really pretty to wear. And now we're just going to make the necklace and string along the necklace. So really straightforward to do the necklace. I'm going to take 50 centimeters of Tigertail for the necklace. You can, if you wish, literally place it around your neck and go, yeah, I think I want it about there. Whatever you prefer, I'm going to do it that way round. So I've got 50 centimeters of my Tigertail, and I'm going to start it exactly the same way as I would do my bracelet, only I'm just going to do some straight stringing onto this. I'm not going to be adding those little clusters. But again, if you wanted to, you could add some of the clusters on that we've made. The clusters being those little kind of looped beads. So, taking my calotte, popping on my crimp beads, coming in with my pliers and taking it right up to the end. But again, if you want to, you can bring that Tigertail, if you want to cut a longer length, you can bring the Tigertail back through the calotte like I've shown you on Monday. If you want to have a little look at some of the conversations we had about the findings and the Tigertail, I did the Clio crackle bracelets on Monday if you want to have a catch up on that one. So you can see my crimps are now nice and flat, pinching onto that Tigertail. My calotte is going to go over the crimp beads. And I'm just going to close it down with the crimps inside. Haven't quite got the crimps inside there. That's better. And now I'm just going to string on in any particular pattern that you want to. So I'm going to start off with the 6mm pearl, and then I'm going to do a crystal, and then I'm going to use a larger pearl, and I'm going to do a crystal, and I'm going to do a larger pearl again, then add my crystal and go back to a smaller pearl. So that's going to be my pattern repeat for this particular make. There will be a crystal in between, lovely little crystal rondelle in between every single bead that I pop on. Let me just open up my strand of crystals. Ooh, magnetic clasp stuck to my tool because they are really nice and strong magnetic clasps. I'm going to pour some of my beads out as well. So there'll be a crystal in between each one, and I'm alternating the size, but popping 2 of the larger pearls in. So nice and straightforward, easy bead stringing project for the necklace, but using all the same components that we've used in the bracelet. So you're going to have a lovely kind of matching suite of jewellery. And say if you want to If you've got a pair of earring hooks in your stash, you know, you'll probably have some ball pins left. You'll be able to make some little matching earrings because you will have some pearls and some crystals left over too. But it does depend on how you want to put these together. You might decide, actually, I just want to use the larger pearls and the crystals on the main body of the neckline. Kentisbury says, does the design of beads make it that you need a longer length of beading wire for the necklace? I've used 50 centimetres of Tigertail for the necklace. And I've used 20 centimetres, which is 8 inches, for the bracelet. So it will be a longer sitting necklace when you wear them combined. But you can change this up, Kentisbury, to, you know, whatever size suits you, as long as it's going to fit. The bracelet will fit around your wrist, and when this part of the necklace will fit around your neck comfortably, you know, you can make it to whatever suits you. But there'll be enough Tigertail in your kit to, you know, I think I put at least 70 centimetres of the Tigertail in your kits. So if you want to adjust that, you can do. I quite like these actually worn more as a choker, like much higher up, but not everybody does. So that's your call. She says, but you don't take an 8-inch bracelet. No, I don't personally. But I always want to make sure that I've included enough materials in your kit for a larger size. So if I put the bracelet on, you'll see it's a bit big for me. But I want to make sure that, you know, if I put kits together which were suitable for me to wear, then that would be wonderful for me. But you might find that you don't have enough materials when you're making for yourself or a friend or whatever. So I always try and, you know, include the larger, and then if you need to adjust that for a smaller size, you absolutely can. Let me just check what I'm doing. So I'm putting on 2 larger pearls and the crystal, and then the smaller pearl and a crystal, and then larger crystal, larger crystal, smaller. You can do whatever pattern you want with this, and as I've just said, you can adjust the length to this if you want to. I think I've got the pattern right so far. Oh, Camille says, I love your June pearl prezzies for your friends, Nat. Thank you. Was my mother-in-law's birthday on the 5th. Not yesterday, the day before. So she's a June baby, so I've made her some pearls, some alexandrite, and some moonstone jewellery, because they're all her birthstones. And as I say, it was my friend's 40th as well, so I made her something. Believe, Camille, I may have heard somewhere that it's also your birthday soon. What date are you? Out of interest. Leslie says, just lovely. The colours are beautiful. I love these colours together. I really do love the seafoam. I'm more of a kind of, I'm a blue girl. I like to wear blue. But this is kind of more of like a spearminty kind of soft. I'd say it's possibly more green than blue, but I suppose it depends on the crystals that you pair it with and what other beads you pair them with. But I just think they're very, very, very pretty together. Okay, so I should probably speed up a little bit. But you can see it's a really quick make. Turning the pins, because it's quite repetitive, you don't really need to pay it that much attention. I did a lot of mine while I was watching the television, and just made a pile of them. Obviously, I made some in advance of the live because I wanted to make sure that I'm fitting it in to our time frame. But it's a nice quick project, so you can I think it's a good way of possibly using a mix of different beads as well, because this design would probably work with pretty much anything. But if you want to, I said it again on Monday, I think this time of year when the weather's doing whatever it wants, all seasons in one day, or when you're traveling or you're going on holiday or whatever it is, you tend to, I think, want to have jewelry you can change up quite quickly. And I think, having a few of these made up in different colours means you can, change the look of your outfit quite quickly by swapping over. So I do like multi-wear jewellery. Not made enough of it, but I don't think I've ever done one on the live. So I thought, well, we've got gorgeous magnetic clasps, and that's really the kind of secret, even though it's not secret. That's the reason why this works, is because you can. There you go. We were doing so well, weren't we? Do bear with me. Don't know why it boots me out. I knew it was going to happen though, and as I say, I've not been able to use the browser I intended to use because for some reason it's just giving me the most awful feedback sound. Camille, don't just tell me yes, tell me what date is your birthday. And you might need to send me your address. Right, let's see. Are we back on? Don't write your address on here, Camille. Send it me privately. Unless, you want everybody sending you something. Okay, so I'm just continuing that pattern until I've got the length that I want. I may make this a little bit smaller, to be honest, just because of time. We've got 5 minutes, so it should be okay. So I'm just popping a crystal in between each one. And then I'm putting 2 of the larger glass pearls on, still adding my crystal in between before I go down a size to the smaller. You can do whatever pattern you want with this. You don't have to do what I'm doing. I'm going to use a different pearl because there's a little bit of the colour come off that one. And you're getting plenty in your kit, so you can afford to go. Right, so I've started with the crystal and the pearl, so I want to finish it that way too. Just finish it here. And what I mean by that is I want that symmetry on both ends of my necklace. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly look at it against the other side, and that's going to help me double check that I've not made any mistakes in my repetition. And I'm also adding that curve into it. If I'm going to string it and pop my findings on when it's straight, the tension might not be quite right. I want that curve in it, which gives my beads the kind of wiggle room to hold that lovely curved shape. Let's get a bit better into shot. So I'm going to add on my calotte. I'll measure this particular necklace out for you as well. I've used 50 centimetres of Tigertail, but I will be cutting off a little bit of it. I always cut longer than what I want, because if I beaded right up to there, I'd struggle to hold it while I pop on my my findings. You're the 20th, Camille. I think that's my sister-in-law's birthday too. Okay, so I've popped my calotte on with my crimp bead in. Just going to push that down. And pinch my first crimp into place. And then the next one. So I'm still double crimping. If you want, you can take that back through, but I'm just going to give it a little trim. Make sure you're just cutting the excess tiger tail. Keep those crimp beads inside the calotte when you close it over. That one's sticking out a little bit because I've popped it on a little bit wonky, but it'll work for the effect. And then I'm going to just close that over. Oh, my crimp bead's just sticking out. That'll do. And then I'm going to take my 2 jump rings. Rachel says, love this. Oh, good. And of course, my other beautiful magnetic clasp. So again, opening up my jump ring, sliding that on through, closing it up, and the same on the other side. And closing it up. So this necklace is 12, about 19.5 inches. And it sits just there. And then when I want to add in the extra section, it does sit longer like this. So just having that magnetic clasp, obviously your magnetic clasp, you've got like your positive and your negative on it, haven't you? So it's only going to clip on one way because I've got 2. If I try putting it on that way, they're going to repel each other. Super easy, super straightforward to make. And I think, I mean, you can wear your magnetic clasp at the back if you want to, if you prefer to wear it like that. That's normal, isn't it? I'm not normal. And I quite like it as a bit of a feature because I think they're really, really very beautiful. You've got that lovely kind of spotted, that lovely spotted kind of pitted, beautiful magnetic clasp. Really easy to wear, easy to put on, really easy to take off, and comfortable too. So thank you so much for joining me today. Joanne says very pretty and shows up fabulously. I deliberately put this on. I thought if it's a sunny day, I'm not going to want to be in like a high neck, am I? But what are you going to do? It comes in a whole range of beautiful colours. So I've made that one a little bit smaller because I think it looks nice personally sitting higher up. What you could do actually is if you did want to multi-buy, you'd want to make sure you've got, I think, the same coloured clasp. You don't have to though. This, you can see I've put two different sections in, so this bit could be a different colour altogether. You do whatever you want with them. They are £9.99 for your set. You've got it in the black, the jet black, the rosewood, the sea glass, and the silver dust as well. They're all on different findings, and I hope you enjoy making them. If you've got any questions, and you come to make this and think I wasn't sure on this, please send me a little message. If you comment on my Natalie Patton Jewellery YouTube, I'll always get a notification. If you comment on the Totally Beads YouTube or Facebook, I'll do my best to go back in and have a check in case there's anything I've missed. Camille says, thank you, Natalie. Gorgeous make, and have a great weekend, everybody. Joanne says it was a great tutorial. Thank you. She says, and she's wishing everybody a wonderful weekend while the sun's out. Leslie's enjoyed it too. Esther seems to have enjoyed it. Joanne thinks it's very pretty. So thank you so much. I will see you on Monday. I'm going to make some little earrings with you. Well, they're not really little earrings. I'm using little gorgeous faceted jade beads, and I'm making kind of square shapes with them. It is technically a stitch project. I'm going to be using my favourite when it comes to stitching, the invisible nylon thread, but if you want to use a stringing thread of any type, you most certainly can. So I'm going to be doing some summery earrings because I'm just desperate for a little bit of sunshine. So come and join me on Monday if you can. I hope you all have a very lovely weekend, and I will see you then, everyone.